everyone. So this new video, I'm gonna be talking about school, college, how to survive school. Uh, I know that's something really important, especially with the new semester starting over. So if you're kind of lost and don't know where to go from here when you're stuck, I hope this video helps you out. So I'm gonna be talking mostly about my own experience. So I started school at a community college right after high school, and it was really hard because I didn't even know how to apply for FAFSA. I didn't know how to apply for college. My high school had a lot of great teachers, but the system wasn't really good, so I didn't really get to learn many of those stuff. And also, neither one of my parents went to college, so they didn't really know how to help me. I didn't really had a guide. Um, so I luckily I had a good friend. My friend helped me apply for FAFSA, helped me apply for school, and FAFSA truly only helped me like the first 2 semesters. After that, because I was working, I didn't really cover much or anything sometimes. But anyways, the part where I was lost, it was where I couldn't really understand what classes I was supposed to take. So I talked to the counselor. The counselor told me to only take a few classes per semester, which equivalent to 6 credit hours. Even in the following semester, I only took like 10 credit hours, 9 credit hours. It was like 3 or 4 classes, which wasn't much. I really feel like it was, I was falling behind because I wasn't taking enough classes. But they thought I wouldn't be able to take a big load of classes, and I was also working full time at the time. And just for that reason, uh, I spent 3 years in community college instead of two before I moved on to a 4 year institution. And the thing that sucked about it is like I feel like I wasted a lot of money because a lot of the classes would have been the same amount even if I would have taken multiple classes. Like the tuition was the same. It doesn't matter how many classes I would have taken it. And I came to learn that later on. So advisors are a lot of help, but they also don't know what your schedule looks like. They don't know how much you can handle. And even though they're pretty good, they don't really have the capacity to focus on each student. So what I did is I learned to manage the system uh, for myself. I learned how to work the school website pretty well. So I learned how to advocate for myself, which is really important. Learn how to advocate for yourself. By that I mean take care of your own stuff. If you need help, ask for help, but also learn how to help yourself. Ask for help once and learn how to do it so that you don't have to keep going back for someone who doesn't really know what you need. They can give you advice, but only you are gonna know what you actually need help with. So after I learned the website, I learned how to. I know it sounds basic. Maybe you already know this. Maybe it sounds really basic, but for me, it was really difficult. So I learned the website, and I got about um, about a few things I didn't know. I found the where what was my requirements based on my degree that I wanted to do, and I chose my major right away. A lot of people didn't know how to choose their majors, but regardless, I found out that I was taking all these classes didn't really require to graduate, just because the advisors thought it would be helpful. In my opinion, they weren't really helpful, and that's when it became a waste of my time. So I learned how to find out what my requirements were. So I never went to an advisor again after that first year. I just did it myself. I knew what I was going to take. I scheduled it. I took morning classes. I took afternoon classes based on my work schedule. But things were so much easier after that because I wasn't taking all these classes that could have potentially helped me, but I honestly believe were just wasting my time because it had nothing to do with what I wanted to do and what I was going for as far as a career right after college. Another thing, I feel like I could handle more than what the advisors thought I could handle, and I'm not talking trash about the counselors because I actually think they're a lot of help, they're a lot of support, and they have a lot of great resources. But when it comes to yourself and knowing what you can take, what you should do, I think it should be your own personal decision. See, at first they told me to take only like a few classes, or 3 classes, like I mentioned before. After my first second year and after I managed and I learned to advocate for myself, I was taking a lot more credits. I was taking 12, 15 credit hours, and I was working full time. And yes, it was tough, but I knew I knew that I could handle it. So I went ahead and did it anyways. I did great. I didn't do so bad. And for that reason, I didn't want to spend the 4th year in community college. So what I did is um, I had to take 18 credit hours for a few semesters, and I was working full time at the time. So it really sucked. It was really hard, but it was because of that same reason. I had already wasted time taking classes that I wasn't supposed to take, that I wasn't required to take for graduate with my associates. So I let so I had to enforce this system on myself where if I want to get caught up, I have to do this. And I think I managed pretty well. Uh, but the point is, I learned to advocate for myself. I set up certain work schedules so that I'll be able to take certain morning classes, go to work, come back, take afternoon classes. I took online classes, and it's all about managing time. I talked about it a lot back in my first self care video that I did a few weeks back, and it's absolutely true. I mean, I hadn't realized I was doing self care for myself back then, but now that I understand better what self care is, that's exactly what I was doing, and it was a coping mechanism that I think my mind automatically set up so I wouldn't burn out. I mean, I was a little burned out after, but it was because of all the credits and work hours that I was putting. But if I would have known since the beginning how college works, how to advocate for myself since the first semester of college, I don't think I would have gone through those struggles. So if you're someone who is going through this or having a difficult time figuring out what courses to take, I really recommend. I mean, I know not every website is the same, but find out how to look at the required classes you're supposed to take, so you can start doing that for yourself. It's gonna make everything so much easier because you're gonna keep going back to an advisor, and they're gonna assume how much you can handle based on what you say, but you'll be able to handle more. That being said, it was a great experience. I guess I learned a lot from it. Um, I learned how to handle school better once I got my associates and move on to a 4 year college to finish my degree. But okay, I think that's all I have for today. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, please put it on the comments. I will be uploading more videos that are going to be more focused on school specifically. We will be able to talking about, what classes to take, time management for school, how to schedule certain courses. I'm going to be talking a lot about essays. That was a huge thing for me. Resumes, how to, kind of like build yourself up and get ready for life after college. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you like it, please go ahead and share it with your friends. See if they like it as well. And thanks so much.